Do you see the problem? See this gap? It doesn't really go in. And even worse, it's unlocked. It doesn't open. And you see this entire thing is, the lock handle here is also moving. But that's how you know you got a broken door handle carrier. It just happened, just randomly happened. I was just moving a trailer, getting out, closing the door, checking something, going back, wanting to go back in, but I couldn't. Well, today I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna show you how. It's not that big of a deal, but yeah. I guess every X5 owner experienced that at some point. The door handle carriers are no issue, so that's my first one here. Not too bad. Door handle carrier. Looks something like this. And I believe it goes in something like this. Because this screw here is underneath there. And this nose here is where the handle clips in. And you pull this out, and then it just pulls on this cable here. It opens the door for you. That's if nothing is broken. I'm actually curious to see what is broken exactly. This is a baby Wildstein. That was the only one available right now. Others take like 2 weeks, and if you can't access your driver's door, you kind of want to get it done somewhat quickly. So window open makes it easy. If you don't, let me show you how I get in. Either you go for the other door, or you just press and hold your remote if you have it, and that should use comfort open to open the window for you. And just go in here, open it. Easy as that. You need 3 access points. There's one here, there's one under here, and of course here. I'm gonna remove this clip here. I'll show you everything. You have to remove this clip to remove a screw, to remove this lock carrier. You have to remove, of course, the door panel. You have 1, 2, 3, 4. I believe it's either T20 or T25. You remove your light down here, just clip it out, unplug it. You take a wedge to remove your window switch cluster, unplug it, and then you just use another wedge to pry off the panel. Then we get to the steam barrier. You have to peel that back to get access to the back of the carrier. You then only have to remove the cable, that's all. So this is of course clipped in somewhere in the door. You have to clip this out and remove this from the holder. That is all you need access for from the rear with the door panel. This screw is out, and then I take this screw out, which is sitting, like I said, underneath here, and then it comes out. It's that easy. Of course, there's another screw here holding the door handle that would go in here, but that's all the theory. Now let's just get going. Plan of action here is removing the door panel first to clip out the cable inside. Then I'm gonna remove the screw in here to remove the lock carrier. Then I take the handle out to lastly open the screw which is down here, and then the carrier just drops in. And then you just reverse it back in. So the tools you need are pretty limited. A small screwdriver, a Phillips head, a T20 Torx, a 4mm Allen, and a plastic wrench. When taking the trim off, be careful. You see these little cutouts here? That's because we have little noses here. See, these are the 2 noses that the trim will slide into. Careful not to break them, or it might stand off here and it's not flush anymore. When you take the panel off, pay attention. There are little seals that go around these little plugs. See here? And this one is missing one. So we give it them again. And the piece that fell out that you saw, somewhere down here, it's broken. And the next one got a little bit mangled also, so we're gonna replace this one. You also saw me reaching behind it once to remove the little light for the door handle here. You just squeeze that together and it comes right out. And then there is this is the pull for your interior door handle. You just pull, then you open the door and you literally just grab it in the back here, and it's like this. You just put it away from the door panel and it just comes out like this. Later on you just have to align it first in the front and then just push it in and clip it in. That's it. Now seems to be an airbag in the way, probably 10mm, and there's gonna be a connector. Usually you want to take the battery off and work on an airbag. I'm gonna close the window first to have more space here. Of course, I close the window, I have to hit the window switch again. Yeah, that's kind of, I know, fate on my end. Pay attention when you do this, have the window closed before you start working on it. I'm gonna put on the switch cluster, close the window, and then continue. Taking the airbag, 10mm. So plug here, carefully go in here, remove the clamp, just like this, and then it comes out. There you go. Put it aside with the pillow up in case it does explode. You put it down like this, it will shoot away. Now the nastiest part, you have to get behind the steam barrier. I put all new butyl rope behind here, so this is also new. The old one was falling apart. But getting this off is the nastiest part. Any window work, gotta be slow, patient, and utterly careful. Good thing is it's a new rope, so that's pretty work in my favor. But be careful not to break your steam barrier, especially if you have an old one. In mine, like I said, is brand new. It's like 70 bucks. And I had to get it because the old one was missing. Our one was just half there, falling apart. So this is some kaugummi or gum, how you call it, I guess. It's super there. But it does work. In case that it's that warm in here, this helps me. Do not need a heat gun, but I still have to be patient, not to wash it, and just pull this stuff off. This is already enough for me. Don't have to move it all the way. It's like this, hangs down. I'm showing you. Go inside. Ignore this. That's the carrier. You see, you recognize it. And back here, the white piece. And down the cable, gotta clip this out. Guys, I'll just take I'll try my fingers first. If it doesn't work, I take a plastic pry tool. See how this goes. Have to pry it off to the front of the car. Doesn't want to come out, so I'm gonna get a pry tool. I'll try using this thing. It's the biggest angle. I can't see all that much. And yeah, you just, oh, did you miss it? You just go in and push it up, clip it out, and same with this thing up here. Just somehow grab it. There's the most space. There's no space at all. Try my hands again. Just have no space to grab anything in there, that's the problem. Come on, let's go. Yeah, so just grab the cable down here and just pull it forward and then it clips out. That is it on the inside. With this, not even a minute, you have to take all this off. Anyway, next thing, move this one here. The inner one comes out easy. This is old, it's 20 years old, that's why it's really not that flexible. With this inner plug and the outer, like a frame, like a surrounding. Just be gentle and careful. Comes out easy. This one has to come out also because it's in the way. Just gonna go from the inside. Try to get it out like this, so don't scratch the paint. You can see all the mess on here. People try to, remove this one from the outside. They went in here, someone slipped here. You don't do that, you go in from the inside and just angle it out like I did. Easy as that. And in there is your 4mm Allen. Let's take that out. Careful not to let it fall in. If it falls in, you lose. It's gonna be all the way down there. Okay, this is broken. Guess I'm gonna get a new one. Hey! There it is. I'm gonna put a cloth here on the ring, just so the door does not close. A little bit restrained on space here, so I have to lean it against it. So I can show you how to work on here now. 8mm, still take the longest extent we have. Always be as far away from the work as possible. Now, removing the door handle. You just lift it up, then back here. If you take a wedge, I've seen some people do that, or you take a finger, and you just go here where the seal goes in the back there, you can see a black piece. And when you take your finger there, you can feel it makes space, moves outwards when you open the door handle. So just open this, put your finger back there, hold it out, and now you can rotate this down. If it lets you, bastard. Okay, there we go. Then you just twist it out in the front. You see if there's like a little twist to it, 45 degree. And now you can take your finger out and let it fall in. Later on, when you want to put it back in, you have to take this out first, hold it from the back, and then you can slip it back in. Last step now, you remove the seal here. Take your Phillips and take the screw out. And that should release the, you see it all moving? Gonna release the, you don't have to take it out, you just open it. And you see how it moves out now? Just clipped in here. So this is enough. Oops. Now just go inside and fish it out without breaking anything. These door handle carriers break because people usually don't operate them right. These handles, it's another Toyota, not supposed to be put outwards. You see, even when you try to do that, it will go up. You gotta put it up. And then you can open it with 2 fingers. Easiest step. But I see people pulling on it like, you know, their life depends on it. Especially kiddos, they just don't have the size. If a kid just like a meter tall like my son, he can't pull up really. He does actually, he does go and yanks it up. But many just pull down and so then they pull and pull and pull, things gonna break in the end. Let me show you exactly what broke. This old one here, and you see up there, you don't see, but you see this part here, this U. It's kind of sticking out now. That is supposed to hold this rod here in place, just like it's here. No? Look, it's not sticking out here. This part here. That's the one that's intact, and that's the one that's broken. You see how it separates even, so it's not holding that rod anymore. With that, you have no function anymore. That's it. New one's it. It's about $70–75. Putting all these things in the wrong way is one thing, or that these doors are really heavy and they slam close. Well, that's not helping either. It seems to be a rare item. Well, it is what it is. At least it's not that hard to do. And with this video, you can also do it yourself. Tools are limited, as I mentioned. Of course, I had to add the 8mm to it. So first of all, came like this. This screw needs to be loosened a little bit. Otherwise, you will not be able to get it in place. So you see now I didn't take it out from the old one. I just loosened it. And that did the trick. Even like a plastic sleeve around it, you know, to protect the paint. Really nice, I like this. Make sure you have a big enough of a gap in here so you can slide it onto the door, but it's not too loose that it falls out. It's hard to kind of show you now because I have to fiddle it in on the inside and hold it until I get this screw in place. Also, I take this one out before I start working. because I need it later and I don't want to have to run the risk that this drops in. First you slide it in here, so you slide it in down here, then you have to move it up and then you can turn it. So you have to turn it past this stuff here, it's in the way, and then you can clip it up. Careful with the window, you do have a little window down here. You will hear it, it will contact, don't worry about it, it's not gonna break. Once it's in, you put your screw in and done. There you go, you need 2 hands to slowly finesse it in. You push the head up to have more space, then you have to angle it somewhat over. As you can see, the cable is somewhat at an angle. So take your time, it's not that hard, but you have to use some feeling for it. Now is the door handle back in place, but first you put your little rubber seal on here again. Top of that thing. You have these little noses, they go to the back obviously. And it just somewhat clips in, doesn't really hold much, but it's kinda there. Then you take your handle. You have to start it like this. If you look in here, you can see the noses. It goes in like this. Then you twist it up. Of course, you have to hit it in here. Jesus, this is a new one. This is like ultra tight still. Just take it out. Put this in here. Twist it up. Make sure not scratch anything. And in it goes. That's it. Take your 8mm nut. Put it on here. Make sure your rubber seals are still sitting properly. To test if this works, there are 2 ways to test it, a wrong one and a right one. One way to test it is just slap the door closed and hope it opens again. Not a good idea. Better idea, you just simulate closing the door. Just take a screwdriver, and you put it in here. Without scratching it. Now you see it's closed. Now you open again. Opens. Close. My screwdriver is the shackle now, right? Open. Close door. Open door. So. You see it works again. Same works for the inside door handle. Just pull on here. Same thing. Everything works. Now let's put it back together. First the outside, then we're done here. And then the interior. Just slides in. I'm using the original screw because it has a little taper on here, unlike the new one. I'm gonna keep this for something else. And carefully finesse this thing in. Just don't drop it. Lastly, before pushing it in, you want to of course test all the electrical functions again, just to make sure. That seems to all work. Yep, that's it. And it goes. Just like that. Then we're done. Hey, can get in my car again, like a human. Just like that, it's pretty easy, not that complicated. You've seen it, you've seen the tools I used. It's pretty basic and you can do it also. You don't rush it. Working on a door is usually pretty nice because you don't have to crawl under the car. It's not that inconvenient. Also the X5 has a pretty good height to work at. So that's one of the better jobs. Now you know how to do that in case you get locked out by your car. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna see you on the next video.